G'day guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about 22-250 versus a Sambar Shoulder. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking, 22-250 is well and truly not adequate enough for a Sambar deer, and I tend to agree with you, but I decided to shoot one of these shoulders with one anyway because I felt like it. 22-50 is renowned as being a very, very good varmint cartridge. It's awesome for foxes. Yanks use it for coyotes, wild dogs. I know blokes that shoot pigs with it. It's fantastic. Just think of a 2-3 Remington and make it better in every facet, and that's a 22-250. So for this test, I'm shooting one of my hand loads, which is a 55 grain Sierra Game King going 3,700 feet per second out of my custom Ticker T3X with a 26-inch IBI stainless steel barrel. Very good gun, stupidly accurate. I actually swapped the scope over, so I had my my Discovery Optics scope on there. I took that scope off to put on the One Leaf Night scope for a review I did a while back. That scope sat on that rifle for a few months, and I decided, you know what, I'll bloody take that off and put the Discovery Optics back on, which I did, torqued it back up, took it out, did a test shot, and hit directly in the bullseye, so it returned to zero perfectly. So I'm pretty happy with that. Discovery Optics, it's a pretty good bit of kit. The footage of the shoulder getting hit didn't work. There's been a couple of these videos where my GoPro has shit the bed. I figured it out. The problem is trying to record at 250 frames per second actually fucks out the GoPro. So that's not good. So for, you would have seen in the other videos, there is footage. There's no footage for this one. My apologies. So at 3,700 feet per second, a 55 grain projectile at the muzzle has energy of 1672, and at 100 meters when it hit the target, it was 1,300 foot-pounds. Circle this back to the 12 gauge video. If you haven't watched that one, go back in the playlist and hit it up. The 12 gauge slug at 50 meters with like a 7/8 ounce slug was 1,360 foot-pounds of energy. So practically the same amount of energy at 100 meters out of a 22-50 as what you get out of a 12 gauge slug at 50. That's actually very surprising to me. I didn't really think that that would line up like that, yet it did. Now the results are completely different. So let's jump over to the range and I'll show you what happened to the target. Alright, Ticker T3X Custom, 22-250, 55 grain Sierra Game King out of a 26-inch barrel. Hopefully the GoPro stays on. Well, that's a hit. Alright, let's look at the damage. Tasty exit hole, holy. Fuck me sideways. Okay, so that's about a fist size hole. Jesus. Meat and shit in that one. And this one's cracked. Most of the bullets, there's the jacket down in number 2. Number 3 seems undamaged. So, let's take this one out. Literally just the jacket. So where the fuck is the lead? Oh yep, okay, so a lot of the lead is on the bottom of this. There you go, you can see all the lead down the bottom there. And then just the jacket, and maybe a little bit of lead in this one. So let's take it out and have a look. Alright, so a little bit of mushrooming. Not much left of that. So as you can see, it decimated the shoulder, but didn't go very far in, and that's indicative of what a varmint cartridge is going to do, where it essentially, it's frangible, right? It just comes apart, dumps all of its energy into the target. Now, a lot of people, more so the older people, say that energy dumping is what's going to get you a kill. Other people say that, you know, making it bleed or pushing the projectile through the other side of the animal is going to get you the kill. I have personally seen animals shot with these sorts of cartridges where they're bigger animals, the round isn't in the right spot, so it has hit a shoulder or it's hit, you know, an area that's not vital. It's essentially hand grenaded into the meat and the animal survives. I think animals with these big bloody wounds, that don't really heal properly. So yeah, it may kill the animal. It's probably going to go somewhere where you can't find it, which is the problem. So yeah, so we have that on one hand. With the same amount of energy though, we have a 12 gauge slug that's going the entire way through the target, through all the water, and continuing to go on and hit a tree in the background. So that's the difference between projectile make and projectile size. So small 55 grain versus big 7/8 ounce, which is 382 grains. One's going to fall apart because it's going so quick, has the same amount of energy but not the same amount of penetration. One is going a hell of a lot slower. It's going under half the speed of the other one, yet it continues all the way through. And that's just the difference in projectile makeup and how it's going to affect the target. So, should you use a 22-250 on a sambar deer? I would say no. I'm sure it's probably been done before. I'm sure people have shot fallow deer with 22-250s. It's good for goat. I know people shoot pigs with it. Foxes, dogs, whatever. 22-250 is fantastic. For large game, probably not so much. For smaller game, smaller deer species, probably. But you would probably want to pair that with a better bullet. Sierra Game Kings, is more of a varmint bullet. If you had a copper solid, you would definitely get a bit more penetration. So, I hope you got something out of that. I hope that was informative. I will see you next video, and hooroo.